Good morning, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Captain Trucker. Please subscribe if this is your first time coming to the channel, and if you're returning, welcome back. I really appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about the infamous topic of extreme age gaps in the Philippines with foreigners. I know it's been talked about before, but there is a few key points that I think have not really been emphasized or addressed on this topic, and I do feel it's necessary that we talk about it, okay? And there is some other random things I might discuss as well as part of my musings as per usual. But yeah, welcome everybody. Welcome back to the channel, man. It's good to see you. Oh man. So basically, the thing about this age gap thing that we're not really addressing, because I think in general in social media, we don't want to like neglect audiences, right? And we don't really want to make broad sweeping comments either, which is kind of ironic because people seem to do that when it's convenient, especially on this topic. There is a couple aspects of this argument, if you will, that I'm not sure if they've been talked about, because first of all, we're focusing way too much on money, ladies and gentlemen. And there's always this thing about like, oh, the Filipinos don't care. The Filipinos don't care. Age is just a number. Age is just a number. Blah, blah, blah. Age is just a number upon legal adults, yes. But, I mean, let's back up. Okay, well, the thing is, let me just say this. A 60, 70-year-old, 50-year-old, even 40-year-old, you see, we've been through the batteries of life. We've been through ups and downs, and we've been through traumas and highs and lows, and so at those ages, like, we tend to carry that stuff with us, you know, our past, if you will. It's not simply like, oh, that happened a long time ago, it's over. No, like, we're carrying some burdens with us as we age, okay? That's the fact. And we tend to forget the thing that, like, we're putting that on like a young Filipina girl, really, like from the provinces, for instance, like a girl that hasn't been exposed to our Western madness and our you know, lust for work and greed, and been through divorces, and you know, I mean, we got to be totally honest. I mean, these countries don't always attract the highest quality members of society, and I'm sorry to say that, because, well, it's true. I mean, look, I know people don't want to say that because they don't want to neglect their audience, but we got to be totally straight about it, okay? And that's why we can't just be like, oh, the Filipinos don't care. Age is just a number. Come on out. It's not a good idea, really. But anyway, my point back to that is, with that baggage, like, we tend to give that to our partners. So we're putting all this, you know, lifetime of our baggage onto like some 20-something-year-old Filipina that's lived in the provinces, and, you know, she spends her days with her family harvesting coffee and selling trinkets at a sari store, and she sleeps in a room with 5 of her siblings and they watch cartoons all day. I mean, they're not really equipped to sort of take on the baggage of some of us Western men, if you will, and it's just something that we got to consider, ladies and men, okay? That's a very real thing. So, I mean, we got to just make sure that we're not being like totally selfish about it, in other words. And this whole money thing, man, it's just, I don't want to get up here and preach, well, I'm going to, because it's just so overrated. The whole money aspect in this whole argument and this whole dynamic. I mean, it blows my mind how guys just, and they'll tell you, like, because they've come on my channel and they'll say things like, no, it's an exchange. You pay her some money because they want security, and yeah, she'll sleep with you. She'll be your friend. It's like, oh, okay. So you're buying a relationship? I mean, if there's what more are some of these men offering than simply money? I mean, money is not the basis of everything in a romantic relationship, or a union, or a marriage, or a friendship, or really anything. It's not everything, and it's real sad, because, I mean, you know, the difference between poverty and even lower middle class. You know, some of these women are really just looking for food for their families type of thing. And, you know, unfortunately, yeah, some of these men with those type of mindsets are scooping them up, I guess. And, you know, again, like I said, I'm kind of tired of hearing this stuff like, yeah, there was a black dude like wearing a suit, and he told he was wearing a suit and tie. Yeah, and he told me to mind my own business. But again, he's a good guy. He's got a good heart, and he comes on the channel a lot. He leaves comments. I'm not sure if he's been to the Philippines. I think he wants to come out here, so that's why he's probably shopping around and watching different channels and whatnot. You know, which is a good idea to get perspectives and so forth. I love that guy. Anyway, which brings me to like this other thing. I heard somebody once say, and I don't remember who it was, for a 50-year-old to be attracted to a 20-year-old, okay? There's studies that show this, that attraction lasts with age, and they continue that same attraction for young women. It's perfectly natural. It's perfectly natural. And that's that old thing, you know, it's natural for me to want to, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, for somebody to want to, like, you know, do some road rage or something, or run them over. But in, you know, civilized societies, we can't just walk around leading with our genitalia. Because it is none of my business, and it's none of our business. It's not our business either to get on here and to tell the world, to invite every foreigner in the world. Yeah, at first, like, crowd with that attitude, like they're sort of just like dismissing so many of the nuances and variables that are involved. It's not that simple. It's not. Sorry to tell you. Now, going back to this thing about the Filipinos don't care, let's look at that. So, the Filipinos, compared, I'll say, in contrast to us Americans and like Europeans, they're not as extroverted. They're not as like openly as expressive, as obnoxious as us, as rude as us, frankly. I mean, the Filipinos are actually, in my opinion, culturally, I think they're just kinder people in general, okay? Nicer, friendlier, more smiles, in a better mood, that type of stuff, compared to like us Americans and Europeans and so forth. And that's a testament to what's so cool about them, and that's an awesome thing. But that being said, the Filipinos don't necessarily welcome with open arms all of these age gap dynamic relationships, okay? And just because Filipinos aren't going to overtly scorn you and snicker at you and give you dirty looks, doesn't mean that they're not talking about you. It doesn't mean that they're not judging you, possibly, or forming opinions, especially behind your back. I think, you know, when we come from the West sometimes and we're just like, throwing our money around and drinking on vacation, the Filipinos don't care. Well, they do. They're just not going to tell you necessarily to your face, but believe me, people are watching, and there is like active creep patrols, if you will, you know, in the Philippines, in the provinces, people that are looking for, you know, Western men potentially abusing their, and it's something to be mindful. So the Filipinos do care, okay? And that being said, we have to also remember that this population of Filipinas that dates foreign men is a small micro percentage. Well, I don't want to say micro percentage, but, well, yeah, it's a small percentage of their overall population of 100+ million people, okay? So this is a unique crowd, foreign men who are other unique people in this population of expats, okay? Oh yeah, that being said, like, it's not totally normal in the sense that these extreme age gap relationships are happening everywhere in the Philippines, as we've sort of seen presented to us in ideas on social media and so forth. Like, they're not everywhere, okay? These expats are going to certain like locations, maybe Manila or like Dumaguete, and, you know, other expat sort of locations, and they tend to congregate with each other, okay? You know, birds of a feather flock together, so to speak. But make no mistake, this dynamic is not it's not totally normal in the sense that it's everywhere in the Philippines population. Okay, it's a very small percentage of it. And while the Filipinos are more friendly and welcoming, make no mistake, if they're not overtly giving you looks and stuff like this, they're talking about you. Trust me. So don't get too comfortable, as you know, in other words. And look, because like I've talked about this subject before, and it's kind of funny because I've taken a break from talking about it. It's been many months, but I feel like it is necessary occasionally to re-emphasize these things, talk about these things. You know, the whole mind your own business thing. I mean, that there's some truth in that, right? Like I said, but it's also not our business to misrepresent, okay? And we all know this, many people know this, and we got to keep reminding people of this, because there is problems in these countries with certain types of tourism, okay? There's like people doing bad things there that come from the West, all right? That's all I'm saying. And you know, the Filipinos, they have their own system. They can handle people and stuff like this. I'm just doing my part as like a vlogger, and that's, you know, from what I've seen. Yeah, I mean, it's like that really. So yeah, good times. Anyway, on to other subjects. Yeah, it's kind of fun doing these vlogs and stuff, man. I'm kind of getting, like, you know, back into gear, and I'm gonna start making a lot more material soon, hopefully. I was kind of talking about like controversial stuff recently, and I'm not sure how it went over, but just kind of some other random things have been happening that I find funny. But anyway, I guess I'll stay on topic for now. But you all, please subscribe, and thank you. Thanks for watching. Let's just keep doing this, and I'll talk to you guys soon. By the way, where am I?